Yes, dear students, now we are going to do a question. Question number 4 on page number 447 NCRT. Third exercise it is. So we need to find the projection of vector A on vector B. We are calculating projection of vector A on vector B, and we know that projection of A on B is A dot B on modulus of B, magnitude of B. Like this way we can calculate the projection of A on B. So A dot B calculation is, okay, once I am writing this, I plus 3j plus 7k, dot product of this will be with 7i minus j plus 8k on modulus of b, and b is 7 square plus minus 1 to whole square plus 8 square. So when we are calculating a dot b, we know that I dot I will be 1. So 1 into 7 will be 7. Now j dot j, because I dot j will be 0, I dot k will be 0. So it will be 3 into minus 1 minus 3. 7 into 8, 56 upon square root of 49 plus 1 plus 64. So it will be, on simplification, we will be getting 60 upon square root of 114, and this will be the projection of A on B, means it is the answer for the given question. Yes, now we are going to do another question. It is question number 6 of the same exercise. We have to find the values of magnitude of A mod A and mod G vectors, and we have been given that A plus B dot product with A minus B equals to 8. So let us apply the dot product. It will become A dot A. Next A dot B. Next B dot A. Last B dot B. Now try to think. We know that dot product obeys the commutative law. Dot product obeys the commutative law. Since A dot B is equals to B dot A, that means A dot B and B dot A both are equal. They will cancel out. In the next step also, if you want to write it A dot B, no problem, and then cancel it. So A dot A can be written as mod A to whole square minus mod B to whole square equals to, it was given us 8. Now the value of mod A could also be written, and the value of mod A is 8 times mod B to whole square minus mod B square equals to 8. It will become 64 mod B square minus mod B square equals to 8. 63 mod B square equals to 8. Mod B square is equals to 8 upon 63. I could also write it mod B is equals to 2 root 2 upon square root of 63. So this is the value of mod B. Now by putting this, we will be able to calculate the value of mod A. And mod A will be equals to 8 times mod B, and mod B is 2 root 2 upon square root of 63, that is 16 root 2 by under root 63. It will be the value of magnitude of A. This was the modulus B value. So like this way we could calculate such things. Yes, now we need to find the value of A dot B, B dot C, C dot A. We have been given vector A plus vector B plus vector C equals to 0, and it is also given that A, B, C are unit vectors. A, B, C are unit vectors. We have been given A plus B plus C equals to 0. So if I am making square or squaring on both the sides, there won't be any difference. Now vector square could also be written as vector dot vector. A plus B plus C dot A plus B plus C. For the same vectors we could write it like this also. Now dot product, I could write A dot A dot B, A dot C plus B dot A plus B dot B plus B dot C. Again with C, C dot A plus C dot B plus C dot C equals to 0. All are vectors, so we need to put vector symbol on them also. Now A dot A could also be written as mod A to whole square plus A dot B plus C dot A plus A dot B. B dot A can also be written as A dot B because vectors dot product obey commutative law. B dot B can be written as mod B to whole square. B dot C. Now C dot A plus C dot B, I am writing B dot C plus C dot C mod C to whole square. Now magnitude of A is given us 1, magnitude of B is given us 1, magnitude of C is given us 1. So 1 square plus A dot B, again A dot B, 2 times A dot B plus C dot A, again C dot A, 2 times C dot A plus B dot C, again B dot C, 2 times B dot C mod B square I have missed, so this will be 1 square mod C square, again 1 square equals to 0. What I could write, I am taking 2 common from these 3 terms, so 2 A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A equals to 1, 1, 1 minus 3. So the value of A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A equals to minus 3 by 2. So this only was the target, to find the value of A dot B, B dot C, C dot A. So that is minus 3 by 2. Yes, now we need to show that point A, B, C are collinear. It is question number 16 of same exercise. So we are calculating vector A, B, and vector A, B. This is B minus A. With that we will be getting the values of the vector. So 2 minus 1, 1 I cap, 6 minus 2, 4 j cap, 3 minus 7 minus 4 k cap. Another vector I am taking, this is BC vector. BC vector can be calculated by C minus B. So 3 minus 2, 1 I cap, 10 minus 6, 4 j cap, minus 1 minus 3 minus 4 k cap. This is A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2. For collinear, for parallel vector, we know the concept A1 upon A2 equals to B1 upon B2 equals to C1 upon C2. They are collinear, lies on a line, means same vector and they are same. But I am showing you with this concept, so 1 upon 1 is equals to 4 upon 4 equals to minus 4 upon minus 4. So they are giving us the same ratio, that indicates the given two vectors or the 3 points are collinear, they lie on a line. Another question, it is a very good question from the cross product, second question of the page number 454. This vector A, it is 3i plus 2j plus 2k. Vector B, I plus 2j minus 2k. We need to find a vector which is perpendicular to both A plus B and A minus B. So first of all, our task is to calculate A plus B and A minus B. I am calculating A plus B. This will become 3 plus 1, 4i, 2 plus 2, 4j, 2 minus 2, 0k. Now I am calculating A minus B. A minus B will be 3 minus 1, 2i, 2 minus 2, 0j, 2 plus 2, 4k. We are going to calculate A plus B cross A minus B. Because cross product gives us a vector, that is perpendicular to both mean like right now A plus B and A minus B. So we will be calculating A plus B cross product with A minus B. So it will be I J K 4 4 0 2 0 4. So this will be giving us a vector which is perpendicular to both of these. So that will be I 16 minus 0 minus j 16 minus 0 plus k 0 minus 8. So it becomes 16 I cap minus 16 j cap minus 8 k cap. This will be the vector which is perpendicular to A plus B as well as A minus B vectors. We are supposing this is vector Z. Now we need to calculate unit vector. Unit vector in the direction of this vector, that we need to calculate. So Z cap will be equals to vector Z divided by its magnitude. So vector Z is 16i minus 16j minus 8k upon under root 16 square plus minus 16 square plus minus 8 square. This will be giving me 16i minus 16j minus 8k upon 24. That implies 2 by 3 I cap minus 2 by 3 j cap minus 1 by 3 k cap. This will be the unit vector which is perpendicular to both A plus B and A minus B. Yes, we need to find the direction cosines of a vector which is equally inclined to all the three axes. Means the vector is equally inclined to x, y and z axis. So we are making the three axes. It is x, y and z. O. This is the vector OA. It is inclined, it is three-dimensional, so diagrammatically we will not be able to feel the three angles are equal. But mathematically it is given us that the three angles are equal. Means angle alpha equals to angle beta is equals to angle gamma. It is said as that the vector is making equal angles, and angles we represent with alpha, beta, gamma because of the direction cosines. So these are given as equal. It means we know the relationship between the direction cosines. What it is? Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma equals to 1. Now alpha equals to beta equals to gamma, because it is said as that vector is inclined equally to the all three axes. That is cos square alpha plus cos square alpha plus cos square alpha equals to 1. I could write 3 cos square alpha equals to 1. Cos square alpha equals to 1 by 3. Cos alpha equals to 1 by root 3 with plus minus. Now this is L, direction cosine of x-axis. L will also be same and N will also be same. So that will be equals to plus minus 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3. So this only goes to prove. So he has said in the question, it is said as that we need to prove the direction cosines are plus minus 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3. Now we are going to the next question of NCERT. Yes, bete. Now we are going to do example number 29. It is one of the very important example from the chapter vectors. We have been given vector A plus vector B plus vector C equals to 0, and we need to find the value of mu, and mu is equals to A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A. Also we have been given modulus of A is equals to 3, modulus of B is equals to 4, and modulus of C vector is given us as 2. So C, it is given as A plus B plus C vector is equals to 0 vector. I could also write it with the squaring both the sides. There won't be any effect. Now we know one thing, that A dot A is equals to A square. So same way A square can be written as A dot A. A square can be written as A dot A. That is A plus B plus C vector dot A plus B plus C vector will also be equals to 0. Now dot product with each. It will become A dot A plus A dot B plus A dot C plus B dot A plus B dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A plus C dot B plus C dot C equals to 0. A dot A can also be written as A square or mod A square plus A dot B plus A dot C. I am writing C dot A because A dot C and C dot A are equal. We know that dot product or scalar product obeys commutative law. So A dot C can also be written as C dot A. B dot A can also be written as A dot B. B dot B can be written as mod B2 whole square plus B dot C plus A dot C plus B dot C. C dot C can be written as mod C2 whole square equals to 0. Now we need to put the values. Mod A is 3, so it will be 3 square plus A dot B, again A dot B can be written as 2 times A dot B. Then B dot C, again B dot C can be written as 2 times B dot C. Last C dot A, this must also be written as C dot A. So 2 times C dot A plus mod B square, B value is 4, so it will be 4 square plus mod C square, that is 2 square equals to 0. It is given as equals to 0. So now what I could write it, 2 I am taking common. So 2 A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A equals to minus 9 plus 16 plus 4. This will be giving us A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A. This only was mu. So mu will be equals to minus 29 by 4. So the value of mu is minus 29 by 4. Yes, the value of mu is coming 29 by 2. This 2 is coming down. By mistake I have written 4 in the denominator. See bete, it is given us vector A is equals to 0, vector B is equals to 0, then A dot B is equals to 0. We know that A dot B, vector A and scalar product of vector B is modulus of A modulus of B cos theta. If A is 0, then also A dot B will be equals to 0. If B is equals to 0, then also A dot B equals to 0. Means if A or B anything is equals to 0 or both are equals to 0, then it will be equals to 0. But converse, if A dot B equals to 0, if A dot B equals to 0, then it is not sure that A and B, any one of them must be equals to 0. Because at that time cos theta could also be equals to 0 for angle 90. For theta equals to 90, converse won't be true. For theta equals to 90, converse won't be equals to true. So it won't be always, because this could be equals to 0, this could be equals to 0, or this also could be 0, then only this will be equals to 0. तो तीसरी एक और चीज आ गई, that condition says us that it is not always for these two are the factors जो इसे 0 बनाएंगे. So theta 90 could also be a condition for it. Same ways, if vector A is equals to 0, vector B equals to 0, and A cross B will be equals to 0 if any one of the two will be equals to 0. But converse, if this is equals to 0, that is A cross B vector is equals to 0 mod A mod B sin theta. Again, the vector sin theta could also be 0 for theta equals to 0 degree. Theta equals to 0 degree. So that condition also may affect the condition. So on this side, three vectors will be affecting. That's why when A cross B equals to 0, then it is not compulsory that A and B could be equals to 0. Both the vectors can be collinear and parallel. In that case also A cross B will be equals to 0.